What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be working on this G8 GT. Guy that I work with actually brought it to me and wants me to go ahead and work on trying to get the car kind of stumbles whenever you come to a stop, so try to work on that. I'm going to look at the mass airflow and fuel trims and everything else and see if I can clean that up a little bit and see if it helps. But what he did is he swapped out the stock G8 engine for a cammed LS3 crate engine. So a little bit different, and we'll see what we can do. I'm still learning it. Later this week I'm heading to the tuning school to take their course on GM tuning, their level 1 course. So hopefully it'll really help me out with cars like this. I've been getting a lot of people that want me to tune on cars like this. So that's where I feel I need to head next, is to get some formal training so I can really understand this, since I don't really have a vehicle to just keep playing with like I did the race car to learn the Holley EFI. So that's my plan. So today I'm just going to take it, do some logs, and see if I can fix it. If not, I have some good questions to take to the class and ask about doing some drivability and part throttle tuning as well as deceleration tuning. And hopefully you guys can follow along and maybe learn something as well. Alright, so I got the laptop with the scanner open, going to do some scanning and go for a drive. The guy was complaining about it kind of downshifting, kind of harsh, and a few other little things, so I'm just going to take it for a drive, log it, and see what it does. Alright, so I just got the scanner started. Just going to do a little bit of driving to see what it does. Somebody's already went through this car and done some tuning before. So I was using the compare function on HP Tuners, which is really cool. First time I've really got to use it. I pulled up through HP Tuners Tune repository and compared the stock file to the current file in the car to see really where the differences are at. So I need to make sure the car gets up to temperature and everything, because there's a lot of settings that get changed within the stock GM computer that's based on engine temp and everything else. So air intake temp, so you want to make sure that the car's up to temp and everything's good before you start making any sort of changes. So there's a couple little things I saw where the VSS speed wasn't quite smoothed out with the idle speed, so that might be some of the issue that he was feeling when he was coming to a stop. So I adjusted that, and I'm going to see if that fixes it for what I feel. I haven't been driving the car. He just showed me real quick what it was kind of doing, so I'm just going to try to drive it and make sure the car feels right. If it does anything kind of funky, I'll try to look at the log in that area and try to figure out what it's doing. So I think what somebody's done is they've kind of removed the torque management, and it feels like it's even gone on like the downshift. So I'm see if I can figure out where in the computer I have to adjust to like smooth out the 2-to-1 downshift. So right about 8 miles an hour the car kind of stutters, not really stutters, it just kind of falls kind of hard into first gear. So I'm gonna just relog that. I'm gonna save this log file, and then I'm gonna relog just that portion of it and then see if I can figure out what it's doing right there. Alright, so I looked over the logs and the car's getting a lot of knock, but it's also lean. It's trying to add fuel, so I'm going to go ahead and do some mass airflow tuning, make sure that the air fuel is correct, and then move on to adjusting the timing if it's still wanting to knock even when it has the correct amount of fuel. So I'm going through the tuning school book and going to do some mass airflow tuning on this and see how it goes. This is the first time I've done it, so I've set up the graphs, I've set up the log, and getting ready to do it. So I got to follow along with the book and see how it works. So I went through the tune and set up mass airflow only mode so I can log correctly the mass airflow and how far off it is. Real cool information in the book. It's step by step, so I'm following along and hopefully it all works out for me. Just part of learning it, but that's what I did. So I enabled mass airflow only mode, and then I'm going to write that tune to the car and then do some idle and part throttle logs and then transfer the data over. Alright, so I got the fuel trims to start logging. It wasn't giving me any long-term fuel trims to log, and that was because because the person that tuned the car previously had disabled long-term fuel trim, so I had to go in and re-enable that by engine temp setting, and now it's working. So I'm gonna go ahead and go make a log and see how close the tune is. So I went ahead and set up the scanner and logged it, and then I made the adjustments to the mass airflow. I copied that table over to the mass airflow frequency table, and we're gonna see what it did. So you can see that it was like 6, 7, even in areas is 8%. It was trying to add fuel, so a little lean. So I'm gonna go ahead and go log again and see what I get. So you don't want to be in full throttle when you're in mass airflow only mode. So I'm putting the car in like second gear and going between 2,000 and 4,000 RPM to gather data. That's what the book says from the tuning school, so that's what I'm following along with, and just seeing how it compares to the first time I did that same stuff. Already it looks like I'm at like a 1% difference, and that's pretty good when it was at 4 or 5 before, kind of in the idle area and part throttle. So gonna keep driving it, gathering more data. So I'm thinking the car's running pretty good. It's not correcting a lot. I'm gonna go back and enable everything and then drive it and make sure I'm not still running into knock. And if I am, then I'll look at the knock. He did mention that for whatever reason he's going on going up an on-ramp, not a lot of throttle or anything, and the car ended up going into limp mode. So I just want to verify that it's not seeing too much knock, that it's doing that. Probably try to get it to where it's really not knocking at all. I don't know why it's knocking at part throttle as bad as it was earlier, unless it's just because of the lean issue. So hopefully the lean issue is taken care of now through part throttle, and I'll go ahead and check for knock now once I re-enable everything. Alright, so everything looked good on the air fuel, so now I'm just trying to really smooth out the downshift portion so the car doesn't feel like it clunks into first. So I've been playing with the downshift speed when the computer commands it, like what mile an hour when the computer will command the downshift. So I had to spread out the 3 to 2 and then the 2 to 1. And it feels much better, much better. So I put them a little too close, and it got like where they both the shift points were almost on top of each other, so then it made it feel real aggressive. So a little bit too high of idle is where they had it set, which was causing some of it wanting to go in because it's just at too high of an RPM to fall into gear. And it's being a little rough, but I think I figured it out. So a little bit of tranny tuning there to help just smooth out the drivability of the car, because as you would come up to a stop, it just kind of like fall into first, it felt like. And now it feels much better. I just had to play with some of the values and a little bit of the RPM speed. Put on the safety first. But so that's it, guys. I think that'll be it for this video. I know I didn't show a lot. I'm just learning, so I don't know exactly what to tell you guys to do exactly what I did at this point, other than I just played with it, read what tables do what, and started adjusting to try to find what changed what I wanted it to change and what didn't. And then I'd always revert back if it didn't do it or it made the issue worse, and then go the other direction. So real cool thing, huge thing is in the HP tuners is to use the compare file. Somebody previously tuned this, so I was comparing between the previous tune and a bone stock tune out of a G8. So between those three, I kind of came up with the numbers I wanted to start with and use, and that's where I started adjusting. I think it's pretty good. So let the owner know that he can come get the car, and hopefully he's happy with the changes I made. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching another video. Again, I'm learning, but I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing as I learn. So maybe you could pick up 1 or 2 little things throughout the video, and it'll help you, or it's just interesting to you and you like watching. So for anybody, I appreciate it so much. If you would, please like, subscribe, share, whatever it is, whatever platform you're watching it on. And again, I thank you.